It's just emerging that Jeremy Corbyn, who was due to speak at a struggle for nuclear disarmament, is not in fact going to attend. First of all, he didn't have a conference pass. He's a member of the Labour Party, but not part of their. What is it? He's barred from the Labour Parliamentary Party, but not from the Labour Party itself. And a large crowd of people were waiting to see him. And he's apparently said that he's got stuck on a train on the way to Liverpool. So, once again, our appalling train network system is demonstrably unreliable, and Corbyn was expelled from the Labour Party over the EHRC's report on anti-Semitism in 2020. He now sits as an independent MP, and Starmer, the current boss of the Labour Party, has confirmed that Corbyn will categorically not stand as a Labour Party candidate at the next general election, and that he has, quote, betrayed the values of the British people. Let me be very clear about that. Jeremy Corbyn will not stand for Labour at the next general election as a Labour Party candidate. And he went on, what I said about the party changing, I meant we're not going back, and that is why Jeremy Corbyn will not stand as a Labour Party candidate at the next general election. So Keir Starmer has said that anti-Semitism is an evil, and no political party that cultivates it deserves to hold power. I think one has to weigh that against the fact that Jeremy Corbyn is an admirable and hard-working and impressive constituency MP, and impassioned about the things he believes in. And I think, as somebody who's not part of the Labour Party, I look on from a distance. I think that Jeremy Corbyn has played a very valuable role in the development of the Labour Party. He's not somebody whose views I warm to, but I do warm to him as a person, and equally I warm to his brother Piers, who I know, and again, I don't warm to his views, but I warm enormously to him as a person. And I find it extraordinary that in social media it's very difficult to get this idea across, that you can accept a person without accepting their views, that you can accept somebody's views without accepting a person, and that there are two different things. We have two hands. We can do two different things at the same time. We don't need to be so hell-bent on this sort of tribalism and this banging of slogans. We need to be talking to people with whom we don't share a lot of views, with whom we disagree. Because if we don't do that, we cannot possibly move the argument forward. And we can go all the way back to ancient Greece, to Plato and Socrates, and to the Platonic dialogues. So many of the Platonic dialogues are with people that Plato knew full well his audience thought were anti-Socrates characters. They were people who would not agree and not support the hero, Socrates. And that's why they were having these conversations. That's why they were engaged in dialogue. And I know it's difficult talking to people you don't agree with. I would do it at the drop of a hat. Yes, I ridicule people in power. I punch up as much as I possibly can, because I think people who don't listen, they need to be bounced into thinking, and one way to bounce somebody into thinking is give them a little jolt. Again, to go back to ancient Greece, that little jolt was applied in Plato by a torpedo, by an electric fish, which produced a little electric shock. I think humour can do the same thing. I think satire can do the same thing, and it can be as forceful as possible. And I hope to be forceful. But it doesn't mean I wouldn't sit down with the self-same people and have tea and thrash out the issues. I don't necessarily want to win. I would like them to convince me that I am wrong. But if they can't, or if all they can do is bash out the slogans, what is the point of that? I can remember sitting in front of Andrea Leadsom and Theresa May while they did exactly that to me, and I thought that as I pointed out to Andrea Leadsom later, I thought that going to a constituency MP's surgery was for the constituency MP to learn something, because we can just switch the relevant MP on television on if we want to hear the slogans. The slogans are not interesting. The MP is there to collect information and to digest it. The MP is not there to parrot what her constituents say. That's not our democracy. That's not our form of democracy. But the MP is there to listen. And if the MP does not listen, she's not doing her job properly. And I don't think that Andrea Leadsom had that right. And I don't think that Theresa May had that right. Though I must say I was charmed by Theresa May when she was being interviewed by Rory Stewart and Alistair Campbell. So, people learn and people change. And that is a positive, isn't it? Everybody can change.